The Bulls were faced with Magic Johnson and the Lakers, one of the most legendary NBA champs of all time. I mean, there couldn't have been a better matchup. My favorite player against my brother's favorite player, my favorite team against my brother's favorite team. And as I said before, I think I watched the entire series non-stop back in Germany when I was supposed to have classes at some days. But let me get to the analytical aspect straight away. Well, I'm not going to describe game by game, but only the general aspects in terms of tactical divisions and players' performance. Well, game 1 was a close one. Sam Perkins made that crucial three-pointer that would seal the victory, and Michael's shot would rim in and out. And with that said, I was really so worried that the Chicago Bulls would break apart after such a painful loss against a legendary NBA champion. And this is where the tactical division, or in other words, the coaching strategies, came into place. With Michael Jordan being in foul trouble in game 2, the task was on Scottie Pippen to take on Magic Johnson one-on-one. I mean, he did it a couple of times in the next games, and it really worked. The Lakers' attack was grounded, and the Bulls took advantage of it. They have blown the Lakers out in game 2, and we have all witnessed Jordan's legendary signature move. You know what I'm talking about, right? Do I need to say more? I didn't think so. You see, at this point, if you have other guys stepping up for their leader, how much of an impact it can have for the players' growing confidence, but most important of all, in catching even the most experienced teams off guard and taking advantage of their complete bewilderment. The significance of the Chicago Bulls' confidence and youthful energy would be evident in Game 3, one of the best I've ever seen, because this was a game in which the Chicago Bulls had to deal with quite a lot of challenges. And the veteran poise of a former multiple NBA champion with the Lakers on their home floor. You know, it was unbelievable how a young team like the Bulls at the time maintained their focus and executed so well down the stretch at the champion's lair. For example, I saw Cliff Levingston stepping up and sparking Chicago with his contagious intensity. The key elements of Game 3 was that the Lakers had their run late in the second half, and in addition to that, Scottie Pippen got fouled out trying to defend Vlade Divac's stumble and recovery layup with the assist of Magic Johnson. It couldn't have gotten any more exciting than that. I mean, to lose one of your best defenders on your team was a huge burden to compensate for. But the Bulls kept their focus and turned that game around, with Michael Jordan sending the game into overtime and finishing them off there without Scottie. And this tells a lot about a good supporting cast and the essence of youthful, athletic, and explosive, and yet very disciplined teamwork on both ends of the floor. After this game, Jordan and the Bulls have taken control over the legendary champions and executed very disciplined their game plan in the next 2 games, and they were not going to be denied. Game 4 was a complete execution down the stretch, and Game 5, despite the Lakers' spark from their young players, the Chicago Bulls executed like a veteran and closed the series with John Paxson having the game of his life, shooting the lights out in LA. To wrap things up, after winning their first ever NBA title, the Chicago Bulls have revolutionized the 90s with a new innovative style of basketball, focusing on half-court setup, motion offense, as well as defense, with Jordan and Pippen as a dynamic duo forming the core of the playmaking and defense, supported by role players with the right attitude and work ethic towards one common goal: the championship. You know, at this point, I would like to refer back to Michael Jordan and his eager personality and leadership qualities. because it was evident that it gave his supporting cast the attitude and motivation necessary in order to fight against themselves first, overcome their fears, and emerge themselves into the best supporting cast a team leader could ever ask for. Under Jordan's relentless, passionate leadership style, Scottie Pippen became the superstar and vaunted defender as we know him today, and Jordan's best ever partner, Horace Grant, was a workhorse, a blue-collar, hard-hat, nice bucket type of player. B.J. Armstrong stepped up in the three-peat quest. You name it. I mean, just to name a few examples, Jordan's legacy has actually inspired every Bulls player who played with him. And even the most formidable opponents could do nothing to beat the heart and soul of the best basketball player the world has ever known. The Bulls have accomplished something that the Lakers, Celtics, and Pistons of the 80s couldn't achieve, and that was the legendary three-peat. During this era, legendary were the battles with the New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Phoenix Suns. And the grueling battle ended with the victory of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. After a short period of retirement, and upon Jordan's return to the NBA in 1995, but especially after that painful loss to the Orlando Magic in the 1995 Eastern Conference Finals, the Chicago Bulls have tuned their team up another notch with the addition of former bad boy Dennis Rodman, who played an essential part in terms of rebounding and doing the dirty work. And although some faces have changed, the character and legacy of Michael Jordan has left a trail of tireless teamwork ethics and brotherhood, allowing the players to prosper and play their part to the best of their abilities to complete yet another glorious three-peat under the leadership of Michael Jordan. Let me conclude this 90s special retrospective with the following statement. The aspects of teamwork, self-sacrifice for one another, with the guidance of a competent coach, is the essence of a real NBA champion. And despite some talented NBA athletes of today display indications of Michael Jordan's athleticism and regard Michael Jordan as their role model, do they really understand what Michael Jordan was really all about? Taking pride in one's regular season individual accomplishments or home court advantage and a 1-on-5 system is not the way to go. I'm Max Ryu, and I'm out.